Hi everyone, thank you for giving me this opportunity. In this particular video, we are actually going to be talking about time series forecasting and some interesting libraries. In order to do that, we need to first import a few list of libraries, and then we can have a good understanding about the problem that we are about to solve. Now, in order to do this, I have first taken the Anaconda prompt. In this prompt, we can load the Jupyter notebook file. In order to do that, this is the environment at which we are currently present, and I'm going to view the list of environments, which can be done as follows. We can say that um, this is the thing that we need to do in order to look for the environments. And in this, we see Parkinson's disease environment, which we will be using, which contains a list of all the libraries that we want for time series forecasting. So I just say conda activate and Parkinson disease, and after performing this, we just go to the Jupyter notebook so that it takes us to a separate notebook file. And the notebook file is present here. And I'm going to the location where the actual notebooks are present. And I go to folders here. And I'm looking for some uh, um, some folders, and in that folder we have, no, I should uh, search for the particular folder. Ye- yep, yeah, it is currently here. We do have all of the data sets available, and I'm going to create a new Python folder for this. I'm going to just name this as time series analysis, so that we can run this notebook every time. And let me now import all the libraries that are important for time series forecasting. I just say import numpy as np, which is an important library. We also say import pandas as pd. Similarly, in order to plot all the plots in the same file, I use matplot um, lib inline, and these are the libraries that we are going to be using. And let me read one data set. We just say df, which is the name of the variable, and we say read csv file, and the name of the csv file is macrodata.csv. And we also say parse dates equals to true, and also we give index um, column to be equal to 0. And let me just run this. Why we give parse dates equal to true is because we need to convert the given string values of dates into time series dates or date time format. Therefore, we give parse dates equals to 2. Similarly, we make the index column to be equal to 0, which indicates that that is the date information. Now I'm going to just read the head of the data frame to see the first five rows in the data. It can be seen we have features like year, quarter, real GDP, and other features that are important for the time series forecasting. Now I want to take the feature called real GDP, and let me take that one, and let me plot it with the fig size equals to 12 comma 5. And here we do find a pattern in the data. We see that there's an increasing trend in the data. And the next thing we can do is to use a HP filter from which is known as Holt Winters filter. And in order to do that, we can do something like stats models dot tsa dot filters dot hp filter, and in that we import hp filter. And it looks like there is okay, and there's a full stop, extra full stop here, but that's okay. Now we are going to extract the cyclical components and the trend components. Yeah, so we just say GDP cyclical and GDP trend component, and we use the HP filter. We just say real GDP, and we just give a lambda value to be 1600 just for the sake of simplicity. And now we use the GDP trend, and we plot it to see the trends that are present in the time series. As we have seen, this is the original time series, and when we look at the trends in this data, we see there is an increasing tendency, which means we are doing a good job in actually making the predictions in the future, because it should be much more easier for us to plot in the future. Now we can also take a look at the cyclical components. GDP cyclical dot plot, and these are the cyclical components. There are some fluctuations, as you can see, and some randomness in the data. It is a good thing to just take a look at these features, trends and cyclical patterns. Now let me also just plot side by side the trend and the real values to see how much of a match there is. In order to do that, I just say GDP and then I plot it. Now it takes some time to plot. Looks like the trend is not it. We need to first assign the trend here. To do that, we just say df.trend, which is the new feature that we want, and then we assign it based on the variable that we first got. And after running this, and if I plot this, we tend to see that the real GDP is almost similar to the trend line with some fluctuations, which is actually captured by the cyclical component. And that is about some basic exploration of the data and determining the trend and the cyclical components. Having a look at the trend can give us a very good understanding about the AS at which we can forecast the values into the future, because having a steady trend can help the algorithm to determine that the future values can increase or decrease depending on the situation. Thank you so much for taking your time. This is how we start with the time series. We first import the libraries, we read the data, we take a look at the first 5 columns just to get an understanding of the features and the data points. We plot some important visualizations to generate some value, and we also look at the trend and the cyclical patterns, and finally get a plot so that it becomes easier for us to perform time series forecasting. Thank you and have a great day.